Hello, my name is Hunter, and I'm going to be telling you about why social media has more negatives on society than positives. Mental health effects. There's so many mental health effects that come along with using social media, and most of them are not very good. It can lead to addiction. A lot of parents actually are putting screen time limits on things such as TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, you know, all of the above, because these younger kids especially are really just wasting a lot of time on these websites or these apps when they could be doing many other things that could be just as fun, more fun, and also more productive. We can lose sleep, which also goes hand in hand with the addiction. If you can't really get off of it, then you're going to lose sleep and you're going to go to bed later and later. You're going to think it's fine, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. And it could cause depression. There's a lot of, let's say, models or a lot of actors on there trying to show like the new beauty standards, especially on apps like TikTok or Instagram. And it could really bring people down and cause depression or insecurities, anxiety, and it could really just harm, especially younger audiences. It could really harm how they feel about themselves. This information comes from Columbia EDU. Another thing about social media is cyberbullying. Everyone's heard of cyberbullying. It's been going around probably since the very first social media. People have a lot more confidence on social media as they could hide behind a screen. Now, confidence in this case is not a good thing, as it's almost impossible to stop somebody from cyberbullying you. And they're going to go on and on with no fear or no consequence because you can't really stop it. They're going to be just on you at all times. No matter what you post, there's always going to be someone hating, someone disrespecting whatever it is that you're interested in, or your body or anything. There's always going to be someone against you, and nothing's going to happen to them because it's almost impossible to report any cyberbullying, because you could also just make another account if the reports do go through and action is taken. So these people are just never going to go away. There's always going to be cyberbullying, and it's really not good for especially younger audiences again. There's also exposure to explicit content. Kids or teenagers being exposed to these things that they really don't need to be seeing, such as, drugs, alcohol, like any explicit videos. It could be anything, honestly. There's way too many things that can't be hidden on social media. You can't really put a limit on what you could see on, just say, Instagram or TikTok. Like, you could put limits on, just say, your browser to stop certain sites from tracking or being able to be searched up. And that's great, but you can't put that on TikTok or just anything that could really lead to something dangerous, especially for younger audiences again. There's also adults on there that could be trying to get to a minor, and they're pretending to be a minor themselves, which could really put people at risk. It could lead to rape or child trafficking, anything really. It could just really put these kids and teenagers at risk, especially since you don't know who's on the other side. And this information also comes from Columbia EDU. It can also lead to bad habits. Again, it could lead to addiction of other sorts, such as drugs or any substance really that you find online. So there are some positives to social media, but do they really outweigh the negatives? I mean, there's so many downfalls, honestly. It would take a very long time to list them all. Some positives could be, keeping in touch with family, especially if they're long distance. It could really help if you could call a family member in another state or another country, you could also create friends that are far away. You might never meet these kind of people in real life, but online you can make some friends, and who knows, you could stick with them forever. And also, it could be quick access to information. However, these all have downsides as well, even these positives. For example, the information. Okay, just say you went to a social media platform for information. There's a very high chance that it could be led up with misinformation, or it might just be completely misinformation and not actually tell you an answer. This information is taken from Harvard EDU. So, overall, social media is bad for us. It has way too many downsides. It has mental health problems that come along with it, cyberbullying, bad habits, exposing kids to things they don't need to see. And yeah, it's just a really risky thing to use, and parents should really take care of their kids or be aware of what social media is that they are using, especially at young ages.